Our pal is Steve Phillips. We're not going to recount his wild card predictions because it wasn't very impressive. But laugh, Steve. That was funny.
Toronto, Chris, how about yours? How did yours go? Did yours work out for you okay as well? What do you got? Huh?
I love you. I love you.
We know what mine were. What were yours?
Yeah, well, I didn't have Toronto beat the Twins. That I can tell you. That you did have that.
Okay.
I heard you were sure. That was not. All right, we got a lot to do here. Let's first talk Braves and Dodgers. Do you think they both get out of these series now? Best of fives, losing a game at home? And if you do think they get out of them, which one is in more trouble? Based on Dodgers starting pitching, which is a mess, Braves having to go to Philly against the Phils. Let me get a little rundown there first. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, listen, I think they're both in jeopardy. There's no question about that. As much as, it's a 5-game series, only one game, they can come back. They're both in some trouble. And I think the Braves are probably in more trouble. Because I think the Phillies are a really special team. I think they got Wheeler on the mound, then Nola. Certainly you've got Zach Allen on the mound for the Diamondbacks. It's going to make a challenge for the Dodgers. But I do think it's the Braves that are in trouble right now. They got shut down. Who would have thought, right? In a game started by Ranger Suarez where he goes 3 1/3 innings, that it would end up being a shutout of this Braves offense. They changed the lineup around a little bit. I don't quite get that. And so I look at it and think the Phillies, they did it last year. There's a belief that they can do it. Going to Philadelphia, I think, is going to be tougher for the Braves than going to Arizona is for the Dodgers. But I think both of them are certainly in some jeopardy right now. And honestly, this to me means this should be a 7-game series where you can have a clunker early, still recover from it, where the better roster overall can come back and win the series. But look, the series is what it is. It's a 5-game series. I think both are in trouble. I think the Braves should be a little bit more concerned just because I really think the Phillies are a special team that could be destined this year for a World Series again.
Yeah, Costa said that 7-game series stuff. I disagree with you guys on that. I like the best of 5. It adds a little NCAA feel to it. It leaves you with an upset possibility. It doesn't feel like it goes forever. So normally I'm with you. But that one I disagree with you on. I like the 5-gamer. It's something a little different. But I do understand the Braves have very little margin for error. The Dodgers pitching is a mess. Miller tonight, where are they going to go for game 3? Is it Lance Lynn? I guess they go Kershaw 4 if he can go out there and at least give you a halfway decent performance for a change in a postseason spot. But where are they going to go for game 3 in L.A. when they go to Arizona for Wednesday night? Let me get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I suspect that's Lance Lynn in that situation. He's given up a ton of home runs this year. And the Diamondbacks, despite being a speedy team, they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. And I think the real challenge, even in game 2, Bobby Miller does not hold runners well. Last season, he gave up 22 stolen bases out of 24. This year, he's had 14 out of 15 stolen bases have been successful. So you can run on Bobby Miller, look for Arizona to turn it into a track meet early, taking advantage of opportunities. And then Lance Lynn, I think it's a wild card what he's going to give you. So the Dodgers are going to have to score. They're going to have to do to the Diamondbacks what the Diamondbacks did to the Dodgers. And that's get out to an early lead, change the at-bats for their hitters, change the at-bats for the Diamondbacks to where the Dodgers pitchers can go and attack with their fastballs, work ahead in the count, and not nitpick along the edges. And so I think early in the game is going to be really critical in this series for the Diamondbacks and Dodgers.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers will bounce back. I agree with you on your overall theme. Braves, a little more trouble, ballpark, better team, the whole 9 yards. I do think the Orioles, too, Steve. I don't know where they're going to go game 3 starter. They got a couple possibilities. They can go Kramer. They can go Gibson. I'll let you discuss that in a minute. But I do think that the Orioles, we haven't heard the last of them yet. I like the little comeback in the 9th inning yesterday. Put a little scare into the Texas, bullpen. Hit a 3-run homer, ball out to deep left field, which could have been a double. I think the Orioles got a little something left in them. I don't think that series is over. Let's discuss that first. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris, I completely agree with you. As much as it doesn't look good, obviously, who wants to be down? There have been 31 series in a 5-game series where the road team has gone up 2 games to none. 28 of the 31 have gone on to win the series. So there's a chance, right? 3 teams that have fallen behind at home in the first 2 games have gone on to come back and win the series. So it can get done, but there's going to be a challenge there. But this is a team, they've gone 91 series without being swept. So I'm with you. I think they come back and they win game 3. And I think if they win game 3, they get some momentum. And the other side of it, remember, the Rangers were playing horrible baseball. They went to Toronto. They swept the Blue Jays, right? Then they go from being out of the wild card to being the second wild card team. Then they left there to take the Guardians on. They got swept by the Guardians. So they can be streaky. They're a team that has been hot and cold, and it can happen and spin on a dime. So I'm with you on it. I think the Orioles have a chance. I suspect they go with Dean Kramer. Then they go with Gibson in game 4, and then they're going to have to go all they can with the bullpen behind them. And Jack Flaherty could play an important role backing up these guys with some multiple innings, but it's going to have to come down to the offense getting it done. They're going to have to outslug the Rangers, and that's tough. You got the highest scoring offense in Texas. They have to find a way to shut them down early, get a lead, and make the Rangers play chase instead of setting themselves up in a deep hole in every game so far in the series.
Good job by Minnesota last night, Steve. They're very good at home. Houston's good on the road with all that moxie. But I think the Twins, I give them a little edge right now. I also think they could win Game 5 if they had to go back to Houston Friday night because they have Lopez on full rest, and Houston's terrible at home. But I think we probably got a 5-game series here, and I wouldn't have been shocked if the Twins win in 4. Take on that series. Let me hear. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pablo Lopez, wow, was he? You talk about justifying the trade for Luis Arraez, where it looked like Arraez going to hit 400. What a season he's having. Lopez has been good, but not great. He was great, shutting down a really good offense. His changeup is just absolutely filthy. Great breaking stuff as well. He made good hitters look bad. So you're right. If they get to a Game 5, you got to love the idea of Lopez potentially coming back and pitching there. And so I think that's an important factor for the Twins. I think that what will they look like in this next start? Christian Javier is going to have to go out there and reprise what he did last year. He was a guy whose changeup was so effective. His last start was really good. Last couple starts pretty good. He's not been the same guy this year. And again, I think it comes down to scoring early. And I'm with you, by the way, on Yordan Alvarez. Give me him over anybody else right now in baseball. He'll take the walk if it's a walk, but he can hit the ball out to left field, to right field. As good a hitter as you find. How about the Dodgers? Wouldn't they love to have Yordan Alvarez back in a Dodger uniform right now? He started there and ended up getting traded for Josh Fields, a reliever back in the day. So I think the Astros, I think it's a 5-game series, right? Josh Fields he kind of went away after a year. Yordan Alvarez was that guy for him. What a great trade for Jeff Luhnow back in the day. But I think the Astros and Twins go 5 games. I really do. I'm still going to stick with the Astros. I picked that they would win the series. I'm going to stick with them to win it. But it's going to have to be with the offense because I'm just not convinced that Javier and the rest of the pitching is as good this year as what we saw a year ago.
Good job by Steve. And now I guarantee if he was available as a GM, he would not have let Bruce Bochy sit out for 3 years. He would have figured out a way to hire him. Good job by Steve. We'll have some fun with him as the week moves along.